Apple maple jam is another one of those great apple recipes that are combined with other flavors, in this case the maple, that taste so good. And it's just fun to play around with the different recipes. We have so many different apples in our area. I really like to have variety in what I preserve. For this recipe, I'll start with 6 pounds of apples, and I need to core them, skin them, and slice them. I'll probably feed these to my chickens, but if you don't have chickens, you could put them in your compost pile or make apple cider vinegar. The next step is to just kind of fine tune those apples. I want to remove any bits of skin that were left over. Usually on the top and bottom, there'll be a fair amount left. And then if there's any bad spots, I want to make sure that I remove those. I tend to have a few more bad spots on mine just because I get them straight from the orchard. So now I just need to chop them into tiny pieces, and when they've been cut the way that they are in these little spirals, all I have to do is cut straight down and it gives me these little chunks. So I'll just go through all the apples and cut them like that. I'll then add 6 cups of sugar, 1 cup of corn syrup, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half of a teaspoon of allspice, half of a teaspoon of nutmeg, half of a teaspoon of maple flavoring, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cloves. As an optional step, you can also add half of a teaspoon of butter to decrease the foaming. Now I'll place this on the stove and bring it to a boil. My goal is to actually bring it to the gelling point. I'm not using any pectin in this. I'm purely using heat to get it to a nice thick jam texture. And so the way you do that, gelling point is 220 degrees if you're at sea level. For every 1,000 feet above sea level, you drop the temperature by 2 degrees. So I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll drop it down to 218 degrees. It takes a while to get to the gelling point, but by the time it is, those apples are nice and translucent, and you can smell all the spices and the maple. So it's worth the wait. I just fill up my 1/2 pint jars to 1/4 of an inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. Because there are some large chunks of fruit in here, I try to make sure that I get kind of an even amount of the chunks and the syrup in each jar. Now I'll use a clean damp cloth to wipe off the rim of my jars, and that will just make it so that if there's any food on the edge, that it won't interfere with the seal. And then I'll put the lids and rings on until they're fingertip tight. I'll then process the jars in the boiling water bath for 10 minutes if at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I adjust it up to 15. Now that it's come to a good rolling boil, I'll start the timer. With the timer done, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and allow it to cool for 5 minutes. And then I'll pull them out and put them on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart. This is just so that they cool down a little bit faster. And I'll leave them there for 24 hours. After that point, I'll remove the ring and wash them with warm soapy water and store them in a cool, dry, dark location and use them in the next 1 to 3 years.